Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and it's Christmas time in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and I'm living through it. Hopefully.
And aren't we lucky? I'm Peggy Burton. Aren't we lucky that we're living through it?
Yeah, I think so.
The horrendous storm Saturday night wiped out a lot of homes.
Sure did.
Nashville
And you know, it was kind of weird. I was sitting here at the studio, and I'm watching all that, and they're going, "Oh well, this is all gone." Then all of a sudden, they said, "Well, there's another one in the south, which is coming up right headed right for Tullahoma," and I'm going, I better get home.
Yeah, I went in my inside bathroom, you know, the one with no windows, and I thought to myself, if this really hits my house and all that's left is this bathroom, I'm going to be very sad. I mean, you know, we were lucky.
Well,
140-hour winds.
wow.
That's what was announced in many places. I mean, that's what it
Up
takes.
around Nashville and Clarksville, it was horrible. It was horrible.
And my prayers are with them. And
you know, but how, you know what it is when, and I've told this before, when I was at the University of Tennessee, I took a class on land structures, you know, mountains and geology class. And the teacher said, he said, you know, nobody will probably know this place, but there's a little town in Middle Tennessee called Tullahoma. It should be the last place in the state to get a tornado. And everybody went, well, why? And he said, because it's uphill from everywhere.
Well,
and tornadoes don't go uphill.
That's good to know, but tell that to Mike Long.
But they're not in Tullahoma. They're out, and just like a couple of years ago when Rosie and Ralph and out toward Manchester, to Tullahoma Lake.
Right.
See, that's downhill from Tullahoma.
Okay.
So
you're talking about Tullahoma proper.
I'm talking about Tullahoma proper. It's the highest place, the highest point on the railroad between Chicago and Miami.
And is that why we were such a valuable place for a train stop?
Yeah, sure was. So what happens is that tornado is going to take the least possible path. Now, out the old Winchester Highway where Jerry Harris lives, it comes through out there, but it's downhill from Tullahoma.
Well, that's good to know.
So I'm driving home, and this thing is raising cane lightning. Now it's out past me at Avoca Lake.
You were driving home?
The other night. Lightning everywhere.
That was Saturday night.
And Fran got home, and we had a little bit of hail hitting the glass in the kitchen. Well, I saw where Cliff Roberts reported in Manchester. He had the biggest hail he'd ever seen in his life at his house. So that's how close, and just like, you know, you look and you go, this guy's in his house, and he walks outside, not anything wrong with it, and 2 houses down, the house it's not even there anymore.
Not even there anymore, I know. When you get hit by one of those hailstones, it's going to knock you out.
Yeah, oh heavens, yes. So, you know, we're just very fortunate and very sad for those who lost family members, lost life, and lost property and businesses. You know, it's Christmas time. All of a sudden, your business is blown up.
It was horrible, and my heart goes out to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen to us, but we don't ever know, not for sure, regardless of where we're sitting in the
No, that's true. That's true. But guess what continued on?
White Christmas.
White Christmas at South Jackson Civic Center.
They took about a 20-minute break, they tell me, and by the way, it's on again this weekend.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee, and I'd say get your tickets today if you can.
And I've heard people say it could be on stage in New York.
Wow, that's a nice compliment.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, go see it. It's a wonderful show.
And speaking of wonderful, A Wonderful Life is a week from today. The movie
at the Civic Center.
At the Civic Center.
Will that be? Is that in the afternoon or at night? It's afternoon, isn't it?
No, I think it's night, and you with your because isn't school still in session? I'm sure it's night.
Yes.
I'm sure it's night, and I think it's only $10, and you get popcorn, everything.
Coke, hot dog.
A lot of people love it. Yeah. There's usually food and
there's food there.
And it's a good story.
Wonderful story.
Yeah, it's a
Wonderful story.
Wonderful story, and I hope people come out for it.
We had a good Christmas parade.
Yes, we did. I got to see a bit of it on YouTube, and I'm really proud of this. I didn't come to the parade because I don't come to everything anymore, and I'm really proud.
We got you right here, though, don't
No,
we?
but I just thought how many entries we had. It was really
Yeah, a
nice.
lot
And
of
it turned out
entries.
to be a decent night, didn't it?
Rained the day before, rained the day after.
I know, and that was lucky,
And here we are, right in the middle of it, Tullahoma. No rain because we're higher than everybody else. Rain goes around. And, you know, and rain and storms look for places to feed. And that's water. They need water to keep going. That's why they follow rivers and lakes.
Well,
is they suck
yeah.
water up. They just keep
keep
feeding themselves to go
themselves.
forward. And that's why you see stuff on the map, the weather map, and it'll be a big old line, and then when it gets here, it just splits right around Tullahoma.
Well, that is
And
interesting.
it goes to Timms Ford Lake on the bottom side, and it goes to Manchester, that lake up there on the
Yeah.
top side, to reinforce itself.
Reinforce it and keep going.
Ain't nothing up here but us.
We're lucky.
And we're lucky.
I just think we're really lucky.
Yeah.
And
Got your Christmas shopping done?
I have.
You a big shopper?
I have never been a big shopper. I would just be fine if somebody would come to my house and tell me what I need and bring it. No, I don't do a lot of shopping. I do it. If I'm going to do it, it'll be in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
I think you can get.
You need anything?
I don't.
You need any stuff?
I don't need
How much
stuff.
stuff
I don't
do you
want
need?
any stuff. I don't. Really don't.
I don't want any more
I would
stuff
hope that
either.
everybody. I want people to buy what they need and what they want, and I want them to buy it here. But there's so many people that we can buy and give to that need it.
Every now and then there'll be. I tell mine I was in the clothing business at Clyde Phillips for years. Don't buy me any clothes. I'll buy my own clothes.
I know. I
You
feel
know,
the
I know
same
what I
way.
want. I know what I like. I know what fits.
Right.
I'll buy my own clothes. You want to get me something? Get condiments. Give me a mustard. Give me some kind
That's a
of
good
spice.
idea. Yeah.
You know, something that, because I love to cook and I like having new things.
A jar of honey or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. That's-
Heavens, yes. If you want to give me a jar of honey, you see what honey costs
It's
now?
a fortune. It is.
Heavens, yeah. Give me a gallon if you want to.
I know.
But no,
I think everybody
I
can
like
do
stuff
something.
like that. You know,
I do too, yeah.
new things.
And I think that's a good idea.
Because that, you know, it's something you can use up. Doesn't take a whole lot of space.
Right.
You don't need a flat surface to lay it on because they're all full.
Right.
They got stuff all over them. You know.
Oh my, yeah. Christmas it's a big time for a lot of people.
Well, it is. It's wonderful.
And it is for me. I mean, I love Christmas. I love the spirit of Christmas, what it represents. And I worry that often the meaning of it gets blown out of sight, but
Well, yeah. I mean, if you allow that.
if you allow it.
You know, business is going to make it's business. It's big business, and they're gonna attack you every way they can attack you. There's people on the internet now scamming, and I just saw a thing on the Today Show before we came in here about, you know, all the promises they'll make, and it's all a bunch of them just lie. They
I know,
they
and that's
lying to you.
terrible. An interesting thing. I'm trying to find a cat litter box that is self-cleaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got them.
Well, I know they do, and
Go to Walmart.
I just thought about it when I turned on my computer, and I get all these things telling me about that. All I did was think about it. I didn't even go on the computer and say.
Your computer's reading your
My
mind.
computer reads my mind. I don't understand that.
Used to, one of the things that you did before the internet and all of that, you remember what the wish book was?
Yes, I do.
Sears and Roebuck
I got
catalog.
fun out of the wish book than what I got.
That catalog would come in and people would be looking through it, looking,
Yeah.
oh boy, if I
What
could
did we
have that.
get?
If I
Yeah.
could have that. Here's a little something for you. This is a little Christmas
Oh, good.
right here, in a way.
In a way, okay.
Walking half asleep, quiet as a mouse, headed to the only bathroom in the house. The sun is on the rise, almost 5 o'clock. My sister runs inside and I hear the door lock. Modern convenience, not if you can't get in. So I go down to the kitchen and remember back when, just out the door is a forgotten, well-worn path to a little house of wood that sits out back, a crescent moon on the door, 2 holes hewn in a log, and in the corner hanging is a Sears catalog.
That's
Now,
true.
I'm out in the little house sitting in a fog, don't need no air freshener, ain't worried about a clog, hunkered on that old oak bench just 1 step above the dog, taking care of business with the Sears catalog. No matter the season, bare from butt to knees, sometimes you sweat, sometimes you freeze, flipping through the wish book by the light of dawn. I hope the new book comes soon, 'cause this one's half gone. Yep, I'm out in the little house sitting in a fog. Don't need air freshener, ain't worried about a clog. Hunkered on an old oak bench just 1 step above the dog, taking care of business with the Sears catalog. Door ain't got a lock, so nobody can be a hog. Taking care of business with a Sears catalog.
That's cute.
Merry Christmas. We'll be
Listen.
back after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Our company began in 1985. We have been thankful to serve our community for 38 years as we celebrate the love and the forgiveness of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. To all of you, we wish a very Merry Christmas!
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back and we're going to take you to some Christmas events here. Last week was Breakfast with Santa.
Always
This is going
fun.
to be, oh yeah, always good. That's the THS Chamber Singers. And it's Winter Medley, and it was held at Trinity Lutheran Church. So let's go see that.
you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Throwaway bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Rolling and growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch. And John, we're here with segment 90.
90.
90. A milestone. Wow. You can hear a lot of acceptance and applause there, John. Yeah.
Well, he's figuring there'll be an ending somewhere
at
inside.
some point. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you about the song I'm going to do. My daddy, when I was young, when I was a boy, he sang us this song, and much has been written about Floyd Collins, who was trapped in a sandstone cave. And there's a fellow named Fiddlin' John Carson and Vernon Delhart recorded on a 78-speed record in 1925, The Death of Floyd Collins. And this is the same song that my father sang to me. Now, I've listened to the record and I've seen the words, and it doesn't.
And this is a cave is involved in this,
yeah.
Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Where is that?
Up near Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, up in that area.
It's close enough to call it still local history. We don't want to step too far out of our genre.
Floyd Collins is mentioned too in two novels written by Robert Penn Warren and James Steele also. So this is a little song about Floyd Collins.
This is going to be a real segue then, isn't it?
Oh, come here, all ye people. Oh, land, listen while I tell the fatal death Floyd Collins, the boy that we knew well. His face was fair and handsome, his heart was true and brave. His body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave. Oh, mama, don't be worried. Oh, daddy, don't be sad. I'll tell you all about my troubles and an awful dream I had. I dreamed I was a prisoner, my life I could not save. My body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave. The work party labored, they worked both night and day to remove the mighty barrier that stood within the way. To rescue Floyd Collins, this was their battle cry. We'll never know, we'll never let Floyd Collins die. But on that fatal morning, the sun rose in the sky. The work party cried out, we'll save him by and by. But oh, how sad the ending, his life they could not save. His body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave. That is a sad song. I know.
It is a sad song, John.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to take sadness, but it happens. It happens.
And music gives you a way out of it.
That's right. But William Floyd Collins was a 38-year-old cave explorer who lived at Auburn, Kentucky, principally in the region of central Kentucky near
Should we
Mammoth
ask Philip
Cave.
for his picture?
Yeah, put Floyd's picture up there. It's not a good picture. It's a picture out of a newspaper. And everyone saw the many caves in the region bringing lots of tourism dollars. And there were cave wars that went on. Commercial cave owners and explorers who was sort of like Floyd Collins, just looking to find that right cave which tourists might come and pay money to see. In 1925, while trying to find a new entrance to Crystal Cave. Crystal Cave was one he had already found. Floyd Collins had found. But he was wanting it nearer to a point of where people might not have to drive back in the mountains so far to get to the entrance. So he was looking for a new entrance. But back at this time, Floyd Collins became trapped in the crawlway, narrow crawlway in the cave. It was a sandstone cave, that would chip away. Not like limestone so much, but sandstone. The rescue operation to save Floyd Collins was a national newspaper sensation. One of the first major news stories to be reported using radio back at that time. Radio was just coming in. The rescue attempt was the third largest media event in that day between World War I and World War II. The other two events that grew as much attention as this, and maybe a little more, was Lindbergh making his flight across the Atlantic solo, and also Lindbergh's child being kidnapped. So those two stories, this was the third largest story. And Collins was in the cave, and he had been there a while, and his lamp got knocked over. He carried a coal oil lamp, got knocked over, and the light was going out. So he was trying to make it out, and he got in a hurry and got his leg caught, and then part of the sandstone rock came down on his leg, and he was trapped. His tombstone today is etched with this greatest cave explorer ever known.
The song says he's still in the cave then. Is his remains, they left him in the cave then?
All right. This is what happened, at least best of my memory, because I've read this, where Floyd Collins, he was trapped in the cave, and they worked 17 days trying to get him, but it was so dangerous, they tried to come from another angle, but he passed away, so they just closed the cave up and piled in debris, and that was his grave.
Huh.
Well, his family didn't like that too good. So they came and finally were able to dig him out and place his remains on the farm. There was a farm close by.
Now, how long after that, when they closed off the cave?
Don't know the exact time frame. But anyway, he was placed on his farm, and then the family sold this little cemetery and the farm later years, and somebody trying to make money up in them hills of Kentucky took the body of Floyd Collins and put his body in a glass topped coffin and had it on display, and then the family certainly didn't like that, so Mammoth Cave had taken over the national park had taken over that territory, so they moved his body to Mammoth Cave, put it inside the cave, or maybe Crystal Cave at that time, but in a cave. But then the family decided they would move him to a family cemetery, and this is a Mammoth Cave Baptist Church, Philip. And that's where his remains lay at this time right here. And his body suffered a lot of tragedy, and from the time he died to the time he actually, and his body suffered a lot of consequences after he died. So
remember, man, that thou art dust, and to dust thou shalt return.
There was a Courier Journal reporter in Louisville, William Skeets Miller, won a Pulitzer Prize for his coverage of this event. His reports were distributed all over the country. Regular news bulletins and radio broadcasts had just become established. The publicity drew such large numbers back at the time when he was trapped in the cave for that 17-day period that people were selling hot dogs and vendors were coming on the scene, and there was a carnival type atmosphere here, and Floyd Collins was down in there
hanging on to life.
And the people who came were in the tens of thousands. They were selling souvenirs, Pat, and created this circus-like atmosphere at Floyd Collins' unfortunate situation. But things were a little bit different back in that day. But anyway, the remains are at that located at Baptist Church, and on the tombstone, as I said earlier, Floyd Collins.
Now, you said your dad told you about this originally? Was that because he knew the song, or he just interested in it?
Well, I think both. He knew about Floyd Collins from newspaper reports. Daddy would have been a young man back at that time, 1925. He was born in 1913. So he would have been a young man, and he might remember all the papers, newspaper articles, the radio broadcasts.
He'd been a boy. He'd been 12.
But these men who were folk singers, you might say, made these words and still remember. There was a movie one time that was either made or going to be made about Floyd Collins, and I always wanted to see it, but I never had. It was called Trapped. I think the movie was named Trapped. But this was a real incident. And back at the end of the day, it was very popular in the media.
John, there's a cave I believe, right below Pelham that they've just opened up as a bluegrass.
Bluegrass underground.
They moved over there.
One place, and then they put it in another.
I'm wondering whether we could take our show sometime, and if management will go with us, we'd go to Pelham and go in that cave.
I used to explore caves some when I was younger. There's one in Chapel Hill.
They say the acoustics are really good. You could really sound good from that.
There was a cave in Chapel Hill. The entrance was about that big around, and you went in, it was opened up quite a bit. But when we'd get back in there, I'd start singing this song about Floyd Collins, and all my friends,
everybody would be ready to go.
We enjoyed it, everyone.
That wraps up segment 90, and we hope that management will allow us to return, because we have got some more stories. Thank you all.
That was awesome. History about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm very, very happy today to have one of Tullahoma's finest in here with us, and a gentleman that has dedicated himself to this town for years, and that's Mr. Lane Curley. And Lane, thanks for being with us.
You're very kind.
You and your lovely wife have spent a lot of time in your life trying to make this town a better place, and we're very successful in a whole lot of the endeavors. So we have great thanks for you for that.
Thank you.
And now this is not a new endeavor, but it's something you've done through the years, and we're feeding people.
Yeah, so prior to COVID, to the best of my recollection, John, we've provided the Christmas meal for the previous 24 years.
Right.
So probably the mid-90s, I think, is about when we started doing this, but we were not able to do it during COVID because most recently I would host this at the cafeteria at Harton Hospital. Well, the CEO there did not want 100 or 200 people jammed into his cafeteria during COVID.
Right.
And I respect that, I understand that.
Certainly.
Yeah. So, but I reached out to the CEO, Rich Ellis,
yes.
About a month or so ago, and said, are we okay to start back again? He said, absolutely. So
good, wonderful.
So on Christmas Day, we'll be providing a meal and delivering a meal to anyone that wants a meal, no questions.
That's outstanding. And you said that's been going on for how many years?
Well,
other than COVID?
Other than COVID, I think 24 years.
24 years.
Right. Mid-90s we started.
About how many meals go out, Lane?
Yeah, so it depends, but about 350 meals we prepare and package and deliver. Yeah.
And so what, you're looking for volunteers, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We could not do it without the volunteers. So there's 4 different ways people can help if they choose to. They can be at the Harton Hospital, Vanderbilt Harton Hospital at 9:30 on Christmas morning, and they can package the meals. The Harton cafeteria staff will have already prepared the food. They bring it out in pans.
Right.
You've seen restaurant pans. And I'll ask all the volunteers to get in a line, and we just go round and round
yes.
and dish out. We're going to have ham and sweet potatoes and green beans, a roll, dessert. So at 9:30, if people want to participate in that way. And then at 10:30, I'm asking volunteers to be there to deliver the meals.
Okay.
And so over the next couple of weeks, I'll take 100 phone calls on my phone, and people will say, I live at so-and-so, my name is so-and-so, we need 3 meals, please.
Right.
Okay. So Evelyn I make all the notes. Evelyn is nice enough to enter it in the computer, and probably telling more than you care about. But anyway, it's pretty neat how it all works. And so she'll print that out, probably 10 to a page, and then we'll cut those, and we spread all those locations out on a table. And then if we've got 40 drivers that day, each one will maybe pick up 3 or 4 little slips of paper, and they'll go out and they'll make their deliveries. So that's a second way that people can help.
Right.
The next way, the third way people can help is that I have to buy the food. The hospital cafeteria is so nice just to provide the meals at their cost.
Right.
And so it's greatly reduced. And so if somebody wants to send a little check to P.O. Box 84 in Tullahoma, that would be appreciated. In the first couple of years we did this, I learned that maybe there are some folks that were not comfortable going to certain parts of Tullahoma to make deliveries. Maybe they just weren't familiar with that area of town. Yeah, they weren't comfortable doing that. So I thought, what else? And it was mostly ladies that shared that with me. And I thought, wait a second, they can make the desserts. So that's the fourth way that people can help. So
you can cook.
Absolutely. So on Christmas Eve, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, Evelyn and I will be at the hospital, and these beautiful desserts, cakes, pies, cookies will come in, and we'll fill up large tables with these desserts. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll lock the door. and the next,
and bag them up and sneak out the back.
I do feel compelled to taste test some of those.
Oh, of course you do.
Absolutely. So then the next morning, bright and early, we'll get there and we'll cart the desserts upstairs to the cafeteria.
Right.
And then 2 or 3 ladies will be over in the corner and they'll cut up the cakes or they'll cut up the pies or whatever and put them on little styrofoam saucer things. And then as the people go round and round that are packaging the meals, John, they'll leave the container open. They'll go over to the dessert table, pick up a nice dessert, and put it in there. And so those are the 4 ways people can help. You can provide the dessert on Christmas Eve. You can show up at 9:30 and do the packaging, 10:30 to do delivery, or if you want to make a small donation, send that to P.O. Box 84.
Or a large donation.
Or a large donation, sure. Yeah.
And thank Rich Ellis.
Absolutely.
When you see Rich is a very, very exceptional young man, and he makes himself presentable around town. And find out who this young man is and thank him for what he does and what he allows Vanderbilt Heart and Hospital in Tullahoma to participate in.
Right, yeah.
Because they don't have to do this kind
Absolutely,
of stuff.
they don't. Right. And the reason I do go to Harton or request to go to Harton is because on Christmas, typically most of the restaurants are closed.
Yeah.
Right. And
they've still got to feed patients.
Absolutely. So they're still there and they're cooking like crazy. So we'll have a nice hearty meal for about 350 people that call and request a meal.
You know, I just want to say again, this is me to you. Thanks for the many things you've done through the years in this town and the things that you have accomplished beyond management of our city government, but the things that have made the fabric of Tullahoma a more beautiful thing and a more beautiful place, and you've been responsible for a whole lot of stuff.
Well, no, and I appreciate your kind words.
And others.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it's a team effort. I get way too much credit. You know, I might go around that table twice. That's all I'm going to do. You know, so it's the volunteers in the case of the Christmas Meals that make it happen.
Of course.
It's just hard to believe that over 100 people will take their time to come in at 9:30 on Christmas morning and package the meals. Another 100 plus people will come in and deliver the meals. It's just incredible that happens. And it's become a tradition for some families, John. They'll bring their families with them. And they ask permission. I say, well, of course you can bring your family. Because part of what this is about is just the idea of serving other people. And it's good for young people, whether they're 5 or 25.
Certainly.
To see the modeling of their parents out serving other people.
And you know, you see these little ones with a box and they're taking food and they're just as happy and proud of doing it. And you know, the last time I saw Dustin Lynch that he wasn't on stage was in that line to having a plate filled to take and deliver.
Right.
He and Chuck and his mom.
Yep.
And you know, and he's on stage sometime here in the next day or two, isn't he?
Correct. Tonight.
In town. Tonight. That's tonight, isn't
That's
it?
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight. So.
And 3 very deserving organizations are going to get a nice big check tonight.
Big check because of Dustin Lynch.
Exactly. And he's sharing his time and his talents.
Right. And so have you.
Well.
And thank you, my friend, for doing that and for staying involved. You know, a lot of times when people get through doing something, you got a kid on a team and the kid quits playing, the dad quits being involved. You've stayed involved.
Yeah.
And
we love Tullahoma.
We thank you for that.
Yeah, we care for people of Tullahoma.
Okay, buddy.
Good.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you know you can come discuss anything you want to anytime. There's a whole lot of stuff we probably don't want to discuss. But, you know, things are on the mend, maybe a little bit in town, and we're all trying to find a better way to do better things. Yeah. And this is one of them. Yeah. So remember that. Volunteer Christmas morning, Christmas Eve, cook a pie, or send a little check or a big check. to Post Office Box
84.
84. All right, folks. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Our company began in 1985. We have been thankful to serve our community for 38 years. As we celebrate the love and the forgiveness of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to all of you, we wish a very
Merry Christmas!
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
City School Christmas.
So we just can have a whole show right there.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's always fun to be around this gal I'm getting ready to bring on the show. I'm around her a whole lot because I've been around her for 49 years, my lovely bride, Miss Fran, and she is here today to give us a little insight about what happens to people during the holidays who maybe have some problems with memory.
Hi, John.
Hi, dear.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you a lot.
Glad you made it.
I do want to talk about the holidays briefly because they are, while they're a happy time for many people, they're not always happy for everyone.
Right.
And they can be very, very stressful. And for families who are affected by dementia, it can be a very tough time. And so we have a few little tips we'd like to share so things can be more pleasant with families and friends and as they visit and celebrate together. Sure. Yes. One of the things that is so very important, and it's not only for older people, but I think this is true for babies and small children, and that is to keep a routine. If we have a routine that we're living out, it's good to maintain it during holidays because it's very easy for us to take on more or to have a different schedule if we have any schedule at all. Our eating may not be as good.
Right.
I remember when Daddy used to say that he was ready to start using a fork again. And that was because he would be eating on the run. He'd grab a sandwich or something in a hurry instead of just sitting and enjoying a meal.
Right.
So again, it's important to keep that routine. Now, if a person is safe to go out someplace, that's really good. But again, it would be helpful to keep the meal time as close to what they're used to as possible. If it's in a private home, you can control things a little more. If you go out to a restaurant, it's good to look at things before you take your person who is affected by dementia. If there are a lot of decorations sometimes, decorations can be upsetting. But anyway, back to the thing of eating. If you go into a restaurant, it's good to go, if the person is used to being in a quiet atmosphere, try to go when the crowd is not very heavy and there's not a lot of conversation and maybe dishes clattering and music and coming and going, and because that could cause some agitation. So try to keep things as normal as possible, even in a different setting. Sometimes people are advanced enough in their dementia, they may not recognize what is actually food on their plate. They may get mixed up if they see, say, a really pretty table arrangement that might have artificial fruits in it. They might think that was something to eat rather than knowing that that is an artificial arrangement. So all these things are to be considered. It's if a person is eating very simply, it's good for them to have menu items that are simple and simple to eat. They might need some help getting items cut up. They might need things separated. Again, it just depends on the individual. So it's something to bear in mind. And I mentioned decorations. We like decorations. Most all of us enjoy decorating and seeing pretty things. Again, that could be overwhelming. I was at a location the other day, and there was this really cool Santa, life-size Santa, that was by a Christmas tree. And I think when I walked by it, it started kind of dancing. And that could be confused as a real person.
Right.
You know, well, I think I talked to it actually.
Of course you did.
Well, you know me, I talk to everything. But that could be very discombobulating, very confusing to a person who cannot discern what is a real person and what is a mannequin, or in this case, a Santa that is animated rather than alive. So that's something also to keep in mind. I personally trip over things, and I'm sorry, we have a lot of stuff on our floor at home. But you know, when you have extra decorations, you may have extra cords on the floor, or things that are normally in one place might be moved, and that could disorient someone. If they're used to seeing, say, that table right there, what if the table were moved out of the room and there's a Christmas tree?
With a skirt, a big, you know, and I noticed we were working on your tree the other day at the office, and, you know, it's in a hall, and the tree is not imposing on the hall.
Right.
But then you put the skirt down there around it, and it eats up another foot all the way around that tree. And for someone who's older and maybe has tripping problems, you know, you might need to think about, well, either get a smaller skirt or, you know, push it up and not let stuff stick out from under that tree and make that tree grow.
Right. So it's very important. And some people are disturbed by lighting. I remember when I worked at South Jackson, there was a warning if there was going to be blinking of lights. For people who have cerebral palsy or other changes in their brain, it could bring on a seizure.
Right, so strobes and things like that.
And a lot of Christmas lights blink.
Right.
And do all kinds of things, and we like them usually, don't we? But for someone who doesn't understand what it is, it could be upsetting. So the other thing I'd like to bring up is that if a person has made a lot of changes, say over the year, maybe they're only visited by certain loved ones once a year, it would be helpful if the primary caregivers who are involved in their day-to-day care told the visitors,
Right.
you know, Mom's changed, or Mom doesn't always recognize people. She does no longer cook, so you don't want to ask her if she's making that pumpkin pie again this year.
Right.
Because, again, things have changed.
And it becomes frustrating.
Well, it could be, and it could be upsetting. Well, no, I haven't bought those ingredients. No, you're going to have to plug my stove back in. You unplugged it so I wouldn't burn down the house. But these types of things.
Right.
Also, another tip would be to wear a name tag. If a person doesn't know names or remember names, and if they can still read, you could use a name tag. I could say, I'm your wife, Fran, or something like that. That's kind of extreme, but that's an example of something you could do. And most people, no matter how their memory is, will remember songs. So it's a good idea to sing. Sing Christmas carols. People who are often very quiet or nonverbal will sing. So it's a great time to build new memories.
Right.
You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to keep up those old traditions. Make some new memories and new traditions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me come
honey.
on.
Appreciate it.
You have a wonderful day. I love you too.
Okay, you too. See you later, I hope.
I hope.
Okay. Folks, we'll be back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and look at that little Santa Claus back there behind me. Give me that shot again, Philip. You know who that right there? See what he's holding in his hand?
What I'm trying
He's got a camera in his hand. That's Bob Couch. He's hiding.
Oh, I love it.
Bob's been hiding the whole time back there right behind me, and nobody knew but me.
Nobody knew.
So, hey, what's your favorite thing, Peggy, to have on the table for Christmas? I mean, of all the stuff that people cook and everything, what's your really favorite thing?
My favorite thing, and this is true, my father always loved breakfast. So we always had Christmas breakfast, ham and eggs.
Country ham, I'm sure.
country ham, red-eye gravy, and that's what we had. And my daughter has helped to continue that, so we'll be doing brunch at my house.
Good.
What time?
Oh, y'all can come. You can come at 11 o'clock.
Well, see, Fran's dad, his birthday is Christmas Day.
Oh.
So we had Bob's birthday breakfast on Christmas morning, just like you, and it was country ham and gravy and biscuit.
And I have to say this on Mother, forgive me, Mother, but she found that it was so much easier to buy canned biscuits instead of making biscuits. And so she would be in the kitchen and we'd hear her pop that Pillsbury can open. We say, oh yeah, the sound of Christmas morning. But it was great. And she liked to make those garlic cheese grits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were delicious.
Grits. We didn't do grits for
Good
some reason.
stuff.
But it is good stuff.
It is.
Well, it's not if they're in a sloppy in a bowl, but when they're in a casserole and they're kind of tight
Good, yeah.
and got cheese on,
Cheese on them. It's all
That's
about the
good
cheese,
stuff.
I gotta say. It has a lot to do with it.
Right. Oh, but those were fun times, and we did try to remember Daddy's birthday.
Yes.
Every Christmas morning first, and then we'd see if Santa had been there or not. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
And then one year, Peggy, we did. Jim Puckett and Jane had a half of Christmas on Bob's birthday. We did the other half of it. What was it? Sometime in June, and had a half birthday party for Bob. And they took the Christmas tree and cut it in half, and the top of it was gone. They took bowls and cut them in half, the serving bowls, and put cellophane wrap around them.
Yeah.
They gave him a half a pair of shoes.
Oh my God.
They did. Those people were the funniest people in the world. They gave him a half a tie.
Oh, I love it.
So everything was a half. Bob's
Yes.
half birthday party.
When we pulled in their driveway, they had a banner across the driveway. The top half said Merry Christmas, and the bottom half said Happy Birthday.
I love
And they had taped that together.
Right.
So that kicked it all off.
It did.
But
It did.
you mentioned the watermelon. Daddy and Mr. Puckett used to swap junk. They saved up junk all year, and they would swap
for Christmas
boxes of junk. They loved it. They loved it. And
That's cute.
and then they started swapping a watermelon, the same watermelon.
Every year.
Yes, and one year.
Not a fresh one, the same one.
Same watermelon.
They saved this one watermelon, and so we were having Christmas at our house, at Daddy's birthday breakfast, and the Pucketts were going to be out of town, and so they arranged with a taxi to deliver to our house that same watermelon on Christmas morning.
That's hysterical.
And yeah, they had told me, they said, just expect a knock on the door. It won't be Santa, but it'll be the watermelon. And sure enough, that watermelon came. That thing got so black and nasty.
It was in a
before it was all
bucket.
over.
It was in a bucket.
A
and you
bucket
open the
bucket.
lid, the bucket, and there's this black, rotten. It was a sight if you've ever seen it.
But you know, that was so much fun.
It was wonderful fun.
And yeah, we had a lot of good times over the years with them,
We sure
laughing
did.
and
We
being
sure
silly.
did.
And Miss Puckett made some of the most delicious boiled custard you could ever like. And one year, bless her heart, she had it already in these beautiful antique crystal stems, you know. And then she grabbed the nutmeg. Only it wasn't the nutmeg. It was red
Hot
pepper.
pepper. Oh,
and
gosh.
she sprinkled that pepper on everybody's and brought it out. And it was a real surprise.
Everybody had their faces just I can
But
imagine.
oh, it was
You know,
such a fun thing.
But everybody has their traditions, the food they like, the games they like to
games they
play.
play,
You know,
right.
we enjoy playing nonsensical card games. Nothing you have to think too hard about. And telling stories and laughing and having fun, and it's a wonderful time of year.
And people
And,
need to take that kind of space at different times during the year. Like,
Yes.
Just to stop and
Yeah,
chill out.
stop this craziness we're all involved in. Just stop.
In our military years, we often would do Christmas in October or whenever those soldiers were going to change and go to another place and no longer know these people, but go to new people. And so we would have a Christmas party for the young soldiers that worked for Ralph, and we enjoyed that. That was just, they would eat till they passed out.
Well, speaking about young people, we've had in this town lots and lots of young people, wonderful young people in performance throughout the holiday season. And what we want to do right now to close the show today, because we'll be back next week. We have another week before Christmas, right? We do. And no telling what's going to happen then. But right now, we're going to go to the Motlow College group and
it was fabulous, by the way.
Listen to a little bit of them.
I saw this concert. It was great.
Oh, good.
Bye.